Hello world, hello everyone. I hope each of you is doing well and you're ready to have an amazing and fantastic day because as we know, every day it's special. You are special with your fur babies. So you know that my passion is to continue bringing incredible and very special guest speakers who share with us their wisdom, especially since it's still the beginning of the year. And a lot of us dream to have very spectacular and incredible 2023. And I asked my very dear friend and also my personal coach, Liat, to come back to the show and to speak about one very interesting topic. I know that a lot of us, we keep saying, okay, I want to change my life, right? I want to live in a completely different way, but then things, they don't go this way. Suddenly you're like, what happened? I wanted to get up early, go for a walk, or maybe start working out, and things just, don't go so easily. And then you get discouraged. But I know that everything is possible because if you really want something very bad and you truly believe that it's possible, then it can happen. So very special thank you, to Liat. So how are you doing, my friend? Welcome back to the show. Hi, hi.
Hi, Vasi. Thank you so much. So grateful. So grateful to be here. So grateful that we have this opportunity, that we have this gift to share our insights and wisdom and love. I would, yeah, that's the best term I can use, love. And I love today's topic very much. I don't think that we can cover everything because really, if we are talking about changes, this topic is the main thing that concerns changes that people really want to make and have in life. And first, I would like to start that it's a very beautiful day. It's an amazing day, really amazing day. And I was not always thinking that life is so beautiful. But when I started to really check my patterns, I started to understand that I live in patterns. That's where my life started to really shift, change. I could start seeing the love in people and give love to people. And everyone can achieve that. Really, everyone can achieve that. And the first insight that started to shift my life was about a pattern. I noticed that I lived the same life over and over again and expecting different results. When I started that this is time to change. So that's for, to start explaining.
Yeah, it's a good start. And I also remember, a lot of times during our sessions, you keep reminding me, Vasi, if you'd like to live a new life, you cannot do the same things. And I think that by default, and that's what you taught me so many times, is that just because it's a habit, we continue going back because it's comfortable and because we know. And sometimes it's hard for people, to go outside of their comfortable zone because it's new, it's unknown. And just, trying to be brave. And even sometimes, friends, before you decide to do it, give a hug to your fur baby doggy or kitty cat or whatever bunny you have, a bird, and just the way like your four babies can do things they never have done before. They can, train to do new tricks or train to go to new places, whatever else, they can do. The truth is that you can do the same thing. It's just really to have, this trust, to trust yourself that you can do it. So you absolutely said it correct. It's so true.
Talking about fur babies, when I'm walking with my dog, with Thor, every morning, it's it's a habit. It's a habit that I started to have in my life for the past few years. I didn't have that, and it's a good one. It's a good habit. But it's so funny because I usually walk the same pattern with him, the same path. And sometimes when I continue, he stops, he looks at me and he's like pulling his head like, I don't want to go the same way. And I'm looking at you and I say, wow, what a message you just gave me, that we are thinking that whatever we do constantly, again and again and again and again, it's a good thing, but we are so programmed. We are so programmed to do it. And we think that that's what we should do, because we are programmed to do the same thing over and over and over again. We don't notice that life is somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what he showed me. That was a very good thing.
Wow, I'm actually so glad that you are saying this, because the truth is that on Tuesday morning when I went for a walk, and I remember, after meditating, I said, Vasi, you always take this in a way to go back home, change it. So I changed it. And this morning I went and I said, you know what? I'm completely changing everything, going to the new route. I go and I'm starting to walk on the other side of the street. And actually feels really great to do something slightly different than what, you typically do. And I think it's really great for everyone to embrace it. Of course, I always like to say, as long as it's safe, there, it's not even a reason to say it. But just, friends, don't be afraid. A lot of times people were afraid because you see, oh, maybe the neighbor is going to see me doing this, or maybe my family member would ask me the question why I'm doing something differently. But I think that life needs to be challenging and interesting. And why not trying something new and breaking the old patterns?
You know what happens when we are living in patterns? First of all, you know how people can know and tell that they are living in, that their life is in patterns. It can be seen in relationships, for example, like dating the same kind of archetypes, the same kind of people, the relationship ending the same way over and over and over again, until one day someone wakes up and say, wait a second, every relationship ends the same way. What is going on? That's where we don't want to let go of things that we think that we should have, or what pulls us into. And that's where we need to start breaking those patterns, Basically, when we talk about patterns, we're talking about habits, right? As you mentioned before.
Yes.
So habits is what eventually put us in a frame where we are very much bored. There is no energy. How many times we drive from one place to the other and we don't even notice the road, because it's like a program. We are programmed. But once we're starting to be alive, to change those patterns, to be aware where we can and how we can break those patterns, a new energy enters into our life. And then we are starting to feel motivated to live. Why do we want to change? Why do we run after constant changes all the time? Like, people want to change their spouse, they want to change their car, they want to change their house. It's not a bad thing to change, material, but it means that the habits consuming us, those patterns are consuming us. There is no energy. We don't feel the passion for life, We do the same thing. We think the same way. We react the same way to people, to situations over and over and over again. And we are like robots. And one day we feel like, where is life?
Yeah, exactly. Where it's life. And then suddenly, you work, we work, and you do what you do. And then you are like, let's say 80, 90 or 100 years old. And you ask yourself the question, did I live? now I'm supposed to be leaving, but maybe I'm not able to do whatever, things are happening around us. And so, friends, that's why I was very excited. The truth is that Liat and I, we decided on this topic actually back in December when we did our, previous interview and podcast, and we talked about it. And then, you messaged me, said, Vasi, this is the topic. I'm like, that's a really exciting topic, especially in new year, new resolution. Like I remember I did one podcast and someone told me, well, I don't believe in the, new resolution. I mean, you and I, we are believers that every day you can change things around, and you and I live by it. And it's not that you have been inconsistent. It's not because, you get tired of things. It's just because you want to live better life for yourself. And if you are better and just trying new things, then the people around you, the fur babies around you, are kind of following your example. It's always, there is one person who starts the trends and the rest of the world, follows them. But it's nothing to, to be scared. And even going for my personal life, I mean, obviously this is a podcast, it's now going to be viral. But okay, like 1 year I learned to do podcast, second year I learned to do magazine, whatever else I'm going to be doing this year, we are going to see. But I think it's very exciting, actually, just break these patterns.
It is very exciting. It is exciting because you know what? The amount of joy that no one really knows they can reveal in themselves. And we are sometimes losing hope. Sometimes we think that if this is life, okay, so what else? But the what else is laying there in the unknown, where beyond the comfort zone, beyond those patterns, the things that we do regularly. I was giving an example, by the way, about a pattern, like someone is attracting the same relationship over and over again. There are a million other examples that we can bring, that like there are people that constantly searching for new profession, like every month another profession, they want to do other thing, and they change the profession and do another thing. They don't realize, they tell themselves the story that I'm open to new things, but it's a pattern too, because by the end of the day they feel like, okay, what do I have here to show? What did I accomplish? So patterns can be very, very tricky. Patterns, habits can be very, very tricky. And one of the best ways to start awakening that place is to make sure we are starting to be aware to our presence, aware to our life, aware to our reactions, aware to our behavior, making sure that we are not repeating the same reactions, the same emotional reactions to situation, because that's what puts us in the same frame over and over again, keeping the same life.
Very interesting, and definitely very interesting. I would encourage you, friends, to kind of listen this podcast, or if you're watching this somewhere in the social media platform a few times, and maybe take a notepad and write some notes down, and just know that you can do it all. That's the exciting part, you can do it all, everything, whatever you like, you can do it. And, you can even start with baby steps. No one said, oh, I will do this, just start with baby steps, with, do something, new with your fur baby, and see how it goes for you, and see how it goes for your pet as well. Nothing, like I like to say there, it's nothing to lose, only to gain. And definitely, I live by it. I definitely live by it. But, it's important, embrace it. There it's never too late. There it's never too late. It doesn't need to be January 1st for you to try something new, and just you give yourself one goal, one little simple thing, whatever it is. It could be, oh, do you know what? I'm going to put my doggy leash instead of next to the door, on the left side, I'm going to put it on the right side. Let's see how it is, or just, tell yourself, I'm going to give myself 2 minutes silence, no social media, no, it's just me with myself. Just baby steps. Do you agree that baby steps could be also a good approach?
I think it's a beautiful idea what you just brought, because what you said, in other words, is it's like you live in a circle, go out of the circle, look at things outside and start seeing how you change it. Because if you start, as you said, in baby steps, you do one thing at a time, first of all, you will start to be addicted in a good way, in a good way. By the way, addictions is part of habits, right? You will be addicted to how great it feels, how alive it feels. Each one of us knows the truth. We know what we would like to change in our life. We know what we would want to see different in our lives. Let's say we have a tendency to wake up late, for example, in the morning. We cannot wake up early. And we know that we need, if we're going to wake up earlier, we're going to have more time during the day to do the things we want to do. And we are not going to be so stressed, but it doesn't happen. It's difficult. Why? We are lacking motivation. Why? We are lacking energy. Why? Because patterns are taking energy away from us. Why? It's a blockage of energy. Once we start, as you said, baby steps, we start to release energies. What happened to those energies? They're coming to us, and they give us the source, the power, the strength to start doing the things that we love. It puts happiness in our heart, and that starts, moving the wheel of happiness, the wheel of doing, the wheel of success, the wheel of abundance. One is connected to the other.
You said it, yeah, you said it very beautifully. And in a way, we were talking, about this. It came to me, I never will forget. I think it was at some point last year. And I said to you, well, I want to clean my house more. And so we know, obviously, like you friends, you're busy. I tend to be busy myself, Liat even more than me. And so you said, Vasi, when you clean the house, what it happens, and of course, by cleaning is donating stuff, helping others in need, adults, kids, pets, you name it. I mean, in every home we have things we don't need anymore, right? So I remember my husband bringing me a garbage bag. I wanted a little one. He brought me a big one. He said, Vas, you want to donate? Here it is. So I filled up total of 4 big bags and stuff. And then you said, Vasi, now you're breaking the pattern. Because you wanted something so bad, it's happening. You're releasing energy because you are, helping others. You're removing things from your house, and you allowing new things to happen. And of course, did happen a lot of wonderful things, much more to come. But now, talking about in a good way, being addicted to it, well, I am addicted to constantly, as much as I can, to clean the house, to give others, and because I want new things to happen. And just as a person who was living a lot in patterns and stuff, I know that it's doable, it's possible because I did it. I keep doing it every day. And also talking about changing things. Do you remember last year when you asked me the question, I told you that I feel very tired to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to do the podcast. And you asked me, Vasi, do you want to have energy? And of course, the answer was yes. And you said, well, you have to cut on sugar. And that was for me, friends. Everyone is different, but 39 years, I ate sugar every single day. I was living with sugar, cold turkey next day, no sugar. No one of my family was able to believe. So you may start with, what? I will have 1 spoon sugar instead of having 2 spoons sugar. So then maybe you transition to brown sugar. Then maybe you transition to cinnamon, like the way I did it, however you like, but doable, definitely.
Absolutely. And we are talking about addictions, and we don't need to be addicted to alcohol or drugs to be addicted to something. We are addicted to our patterns, you know, and we usually like what is not really good for us. As you mentioned, the sugar, and see what happened. Once you stopped with the sugar, you felt like more energized, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. That's what happened to me with waking up early in the morning. I was not a person of morning. No, I couldn't think about it. It was so difficult for me. But once I started to wake up, but really early in the morning, all of a sudden I see so much, I feel so much energy that I can, you know, I can give to the whole world. Like constantly, like, let me just give. I have so much energy to give. Wow. Yes. So as you said before, baby steps for sure. We cannot conquer the Everest in one day, and we shouldn't, but that should be our goal. And once we starting to, you know, first of all, let's ask how you do that. How you start doing that really. So the first term that we need is really a desire. How much we desire a change, how much we desire to be different people, how much we desire to be happy people, how much we desire to have that happiness in our heart, you know? And then, and about, you know, desire and addictions, like people that have addictions, but when the desire is greater than the addiction, that's it. That's all they need. It's just that the desire will be greater than the addiction when things start to move. The second thing, we need to be present. We need to tune ourselves to presence, to be present. And when we are present, we have more awareness, and we can check ourselves and see where we are falling into those patterns that are destructive for us, you know?
Yes, absolutely. I do actually like to add one more thing here. When you said number one, which is desire, friends, if you have the desire, but you don't think that is strong enough, find something to motivate you even more. And then your desire will grow. It could be simple thing. It could be, do you know what? For example, I would talk for myself. You know, you want to be in the better shape so you can have longer walks with your fur baby. How beautiful is this? So then your desire will grow even more. Okay, I'm going to cut down a little bit on sugar. And again, I'm giving example. There's, as you mentioned, there are millions of examples. So you know, if needed, help this desire. And then you said, be present, you know, be aware of where you are, what are happening. I think that, and I talk a lot about it. Again, I learned this from you. A lot of times we are thinking so much about tomorrow that we forget to be living today. A lot of times we get distracted by social media. Let's say simple, you know, example with you get 100 notifications from your social media. But I want to remind you that turn them off. Turn off the notifications. So when you open your Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, then only then you get, you know, the notification. You're still not, you know, going to miss much, right? So little simple tools to help you.
Vasi, how many times we see people or even our kids are not present, they are with the phone. What's behind it? It's the amount of hormones that the body produces while we are using this technology. But the tricky part is, first of all of us can produce those hormones by ourselves, by doing actions in our inner world, but this is a different topic. We need to understand, and we need to really understand that those emotions or energy that we receive while doing this, you know, in social media or iPhone, eventually by the end of the day, taking so much energy from us because we didn't produce this energy in us. we borrowed it from the outer world, and then there is a price for it. We pay our price. What is the price? We are lacking motivation. We are lacking love. We don't have any patience for other people. And you know what? The more energy we have, and we have patience and love towards other people, it just expands our heart. And when our heart expands, there is a more room for energy to be received. You understand? So yeah, maybe we can be addicted to social media and iPhone and how many likes we receive. We can be aware to it and just pause, as you said, pause, look at yourself, think what you can do internally in order to bring those, to create that energy in you, rather than take it from the outside that you pay a price for it. By the end of the day, it is a price. Yes.
It is a price. Absolutely. You're right. And I just also like why, you mentioned all of these things. One more thing, it came to me. It's that right now being winter in most of the part of the world. I mean, I'm lucky, Liat and I, we actually, both of us, we live in Florida, even if we have not been born in US. But, to me, distance, languages, cultures, we are all connected by the love of our fur babies. So that's the beautiful part. But so a lot of the people with winter and snow are currently going into depression. And so you're probably going to ask me, Vasi, what takes it with fur babies? This is a very heavy topic. You want us first to be aware of, patterns of, things from life. You want us to, try to change our life, and you also want us to do so many things. We are here in Pet Pig's world to have fun with our fur babies. Okay, so let's be realistic. How can we even be more present and enjoy our fur babies if we are depressed and we don't even know that we are depressed? How do we get depressed? In the beginning, hopefully you had the chance to get together with your loved ones for the holidays. So now it's cold, you stay inside, you don't get a lot of vitamin D, a lot of places it's, cloudy or maybe raining or snowy. And so suddenly you're like, staying at home or going to work and just looking at the wall and, really maybe not having too shiny thoughts. And that's why I also was very grateful when Liat said, and I can tell you, Liat worked with people from all around the world. You are the superwoman for me, Wonder Woman. And so you found the time to come and speak to, our friends. But all of those tools are really helpful for those of you who want to feel light of joy, fulfill life of joy with your loved one and with your fur babies. And this is the reason why I'm so passionate to talk about things a lot of people, they don't like to admit that they exist, or just because it's easier this way. But sometimes facing the reality from a different perspective, it's important. And I'm not saying you're depressed. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that it could happen. That has happened to me. Sometimes happen to people who gave birth and, they can go into depression up to a year after they had their baby. It can happen to anyone. I'm done.
Absolutely.
Too much, too talkative, sorry. But you know me, I'm very passionate about any of those things.
You're very passionate about everything, Vasi. And the more your energy increases, you are, one of the greatest things that we receive when we really increase our energy, meaning we are being more aware, we are breaking patterns. Those patterns, by the way, are, it's like energies that are in our body. And there exist there, sometimes patterns, by the way, could be that we repeat the same pattern as our parents, or we marry one of our parents, but we are not aware to it, everything. Now, once you start realizing those, you know, patterns that exist in that you repeat with your parents, it's like you're releasing energies to your parents and ancestors and the family, because each one holds something that the other one holds. So it's like you know, it's like a work of oneness. Now, those energies that are stored in our body, they are like another voice exists in us. When we want to break a pattern, when we want to change a habit, let's say we decide tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to go for a walk. And what happened when we wake up in the morning? What happened? We're starting to hear a voice that is telling us, not today. Rest, you need that. You need to have this quiet time today because many things are happening and waiting for you that you need the energy for. These voices are those energies that are stored in our body that talk to us and convince us, and we think it's part of us. It's who we are. And slowly, by releasing those energies, that's when life started to change. So, you know, each one of us, if there is such a difficulty to do it by yourself, there are those that can help as well.
Yes,
And this is part of the things that I am, you know,
you do.
that
You
I'm
do.
doing.
Yeah,
Yes.
you do. You know, you help, you know, families, you help individuals, you help people with their business. You know, you are a very special and very talented person. And I definitely, friends, would encourage you. No, I thank you for everything what you do for me. And, you know, for my loved ones and friends, I already added the information of Liat, so you can, you know, you can find it. And now in a second, I will ask her also to repeat it. But before you are done, we are done for today. And before I ask you, you know, if there anything else you would like to mention, because I know we will be back. I mean, we pretty much try to do this once a month. As we know, I took a little time off, but I am back. And so I would say this, friends, this is my shortcut to wake up early in the morning. I set up my alarm the day before. That's it. I set up my alarm like today. If I want to wake up tomorrow morning, probably midday, I will set it up because I decided to wake up. I set up a few of them. and just I do it. Now when I wake up and I'm like, as I go back to sleep and I'm like, yeah, I am. But if I help one person to have better time with their fur babies, help one rescue to get adopted, isn't it worth it to get up early, Vasi? And obviously the answer is always yes. I get up from my own bed in Florida, but you know, that's the point. But anyway.
What a pleasure you are. And you know what? It's what you said before. You don't have a desire, find something. And you know what motivates me? What motivates me, like to wake up early in the morning and to meditate, what I usually do every morning. What is the motivation is, what do you want to bring today to someone? What do you want to give from yourself? How much energy do you want to give? How much love do you want to give? You know? So that's what increases my desire, that there is no question really, you know?
It's beautiful.
And one step, you know, there is that very famous sentence, quote, that a journey of 1,000 kilometers starts with one step. So we should not try to achieve everything at once, but we should start step by step. And that's why there are those that can help as well. That's okay if we need that help. If we want to have that change, we need to understand that once we are breaking the pattern, our habits, we're becoming, it's like we're creating a new mind and new life and new positive habits. And I hope that, you know, that people that hear that, they resonate with it.
And I know it does, we know it. Some people, for those of you who friends may not, just take as much as you think you like. You know, again, you know that I'm very big on bringing awareness. And this is the reason why all the interviews I do are with so many different professionals from different fields. So at least we can bring it to you, and then you can decide if it works for you, if it doesn't, or maybe if you learn. I think that if you learn one thing or you got inspired for one thing, this is a huge achievement. And that's what I'm always aiming for. That's just one thing. What was the one thing you learned today, or maybe inspire you? I think that at least of it was, have a desire, and if your desire it's not too strong, find something to motivate you and start with baby steps. That's what, and also be a present. I mean, if you remember those things which are very simple, even a child 7 years old probably can, follow those steps, then you are a winner. Then you can do everything in this life.
Yes.
I'm a good student, right? I'm a good student. Oh my gosh. I love you, Liat. Can you tell people where they can find you on social media?
So my website is lmchealing.com, and all the information about me is there. You can I can be reached there, and can have a place to, if someone would like to leave a message. Or another website, which is the heal.me/Liat, where you can see exactly what I do and how much I charge and how long the session for, and see, and whatever someone can receive to be a happy person. 2023 will be a very, 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 very good, great, and amazing year. And we all want to start big. We want to start big.
I love it. I'm into this. Thank you again so much for being with us today, for bringing your wisdom, sharing with us really such important things for our lives. And then if we are happy, we live good life, our 4 babies will continue living even better life because they deserve it. And give a hug to your boy, Tor, because friends, so Liat's 4 baby, his name is Tor. He is so cute. He knows when Basi from Pet Pig sits around. He comes and he says hi. So thank you again. He's there, right? Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you, friends,
Thank
for
you,
listening.
thank you, everyone.
Yes, and just know that it's never too late to live a better life, and just to live, like I like to say, from the sunshine side of life. So things will happen to you, but the question is how you react to them, and just going through little simple, step-by-step actions. Definitely the sun will become, bigger and brighter for you and your fort likewise. So I will see you next episode. Thank you, Liat. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye.